Hello fellow schoolers. It's been a long time since I've shown Skynet my other tournament deck some love, so I thought this was a good time to do so, and I wanted to test it out against various tier 1 decks just to see how it measures up, as I've never used Skynet in a tournament before, and I thought I might use this brew at an upcoming event here. So this match I'm testing it out against the deck. And this version of the deck was the exact version that I won against with Composition A in the Swiss at the Eel Castle Cup 1.0 on this channel, and the very same deck that kicked me out as well in the semifinals, or was it the quarterfinals? I think it was. So just kicked Composition A out of the tournament there. So let's see if its sibling Skynet can get some revenge in here. It's a best of 4, I think. And as usual, we'll use a bit of time to go over the decks before the match here, just to see how they're set up, and then we'll talk a bit about the matchup. But if this is not your thing, I'll put down a timestamp in a comment below, and you can go to that particular timestamp for the first round of this match. Let's take a look at Skynet in its current iteration. As the name implies, Skynet is a robot deck. We see it here, and there are various iterations of it. Sometimes it's more like a Robo-Geddon deck, where I use Armageddons on top of or in conjunction with all these robots, and just try to put a robot out and then use Armageddon to clear out all the lands and win through that. Sort of like an Armageddon, but with different colors and in a robot shell. In this particular version, I have all the Armageddons in the sideboard, so it's a bit of a transformation where I can shift between a focused robot deck and a Robo-Geddon, depending on whatever I'm gonna face. I thought the Armageddons would be kinda nice against all the Maces of Ith that we see in Denmark and at the tournament scene, or at least that we saw, especially at the last tournament on this channel, the Long Island Cup 3.0. There were Maces of Ith everywhere, so I wanted to try how this would work. So the main theme of this deck is get out a bunch of quick mana. We have Moxen and Felverstone and Sol Ring, obviously, to ramp out some big robots. And then we'll try to Skynet will use all these robots as a in a mass producing way, because we have copy artifacts, 3 copy artifacts here, just to copy even more, say, Triskelions or Sushis. And if they go to the graveyard, the Terminator will say, "I'll be back," and we'll use animate deaths and put them right back in. So the pressure can be relentless here, because you'll just keep on copying and animating your robots and just piling on the pressure and trying to overwhelm the other guy. So in a way, it's like a mid-range deck, but it has these recycling and copying elements to it. As we see here, the deck is primarily blue and white, but with a kind of big splash of black as well, using a single Armageddon, a single The Abyss, that will destroy all non-artifact creatures. So it'll just, each upkeep, it'll just destroy a creature from the opponent's side. Then we have the Demonic Tutor and the Mind Twist, and a couple of animate deaths. Perhaps 3 should be in here, but I'm running with 2 in this particular setup. Then we have the Nuclear Winter in form of a couple of Icy Manipulators that will help me control the board. They'll have many ways to function, as they can be used to tap opposing attacking creatures, or to tap potential blockers, so that my Terminators can get in. So much for the Nuclear Winter. Sometimes I use Winter Orb as well in conjunction with these Icy Manipulators. They also work well after sideboard with Armageddons, because you can Armageddon stuff and then you can tap whatever remains, like a Mox, down on the opponent's upkeep. Or if you place a single land, well, you can just tap that thing down with your Icy Manipulator. A single Swords to Plowshares here, going really light on it here, but we have counter spells, a couple of counter spells to block creatures as well. And also, obviously, the Icy Manipulators, and if all else fails, the Triskelions will be able to shoot down critters with their guns. Then we have the Time Twister, Ancestor Recall and Time Walk, and a Mana Drain as another countermeasure that will provide us with a bunch of nice colorless mana to cast robots or IC manipulators. Obviously the Brain Geyser is in here as well. This deck doesn't make use of any other Arabian Night cards than Library of Alexandria, foregoing Cities of Brass here. And one of the reasons for that is that we don't have that much colored requirement here. Many of the spells are colorless, so I don't really mind if the opponent plays Blood Moons either. That'll be fine, because I'll still have a lot of things to cast until I can get rid of that Blood Moon. And also after sideboard I can get in some I only own a single City in a Bottle. I should perhaps try to get another one, because they are brutal in this deck, because I don't have, as said, I don't have anything to sacrifice myself, and they will just shut down completely any like Urnam Gens, Twosome Gens, Serendipity Freak, stuff like that. It is a bit of a party stopper deck, a party stopper card, and I had anticipated that it might get restricted, so that's why I only own one at this point, and perhaps it's a bit more fair to only play one, because it'll just shut down an entire expansion here. But yeah, the City in a Bottle is in the sideboard in this particular iteration. Sometimes I have it main deck as another out against opposing Library of Alexandria. So different tweaks here and there on how you'll spin this. Let's go over my mate's version of the deck, and it's Jesper, and he has played the deck in tournaments for a long time. As for my opponent here, it is a classical version of the deck with 4 Yaimde tomes, a full playset of Swords to Plowshares, and counterspells to gain control, 4 disenchants, and a single fireball to finish the game if he wants to. Also the mana drain and a recall. And this particular version only has the Mistress Factories before sideboard as a way to finish the game. So the game plan with the deck is, as we've seen on this channel a bunch, is gain control, remove all the other threats from the opponent, and then counter any key cards. Get out a book and use that book to acquire card advantage, and as the card advantage becomes more and more prominent, you'll get more counter magic than the other guy has threats, and you'll get more answers. And then you'll lock down the game completely at some point, gaining control, and just punch the other guy down with the Mistress Factories, protecting them with your counter magic. This particular version makes use of a single mirror universe that is pretty damn brutal as well, because the deck usually takes a lot of damage in the opening game or the early rounds of the game, and then just before it gains control of the match, it can just trade lives with the opponent, just run him down with the factories or fireball him away. And if you look at the lower right of this deck picture, under that Chaos Orb we have a couple of the Abyss that is primarily used by the deck as well. Just another way to get counter advantage, getting that out, protecting it with your counter magic, and just munching up all the creatures. But in this particular matchup, it will be kind of a dead draw against me. I guess both our Abysses will, but he has 2 and I only have 1, because all my creatures, they'll be immune to the Abyss, because you can't, robots, they can't be scared that easily. They can't be terrorized, and they can't be munched up by the Abyss. And as for sideboard of the deck here, we see that age-old trick there with 3 Serra Angels in the sideboard that you can just transfer in after the first match in anticipation of the other guy taking all his creature removal out after the first round, because creature removal aren't worth that much against the classical deck, but without any terrors or Swords to Plowshares, those Serra Angels will be able to wreak havoc on an unprepared opponent. And they are, with 4 in toughness, they are immune to lightning bolts that might still be in there, and they don't tap, so it's a great defensive creatures against aggro decks and other decks with smaller creatures, because they can attack and still be ready to protect the deck. And he also has 3 Divine Offerings, and those would be kind of great against me, I suppose. Then we have the Ivory Towers against Burn. It is a new thing for the deck to use it that much, but yeah, in the Danish scene there's so many Lion Dip Bolts decks, and you are counter burn, so yeah, they'll be worth their weight in gold in those matchups. I don't suppose he'll take them in against me. And then we have the red and the blue blast to round out the sideboard, and we see the sideboard at the bottom there where all the cards are upside down. So that is the match we're going to follow this evening. as the production facilities of a rogue AI Skynet goes head to head against arguably the best control deck in the format. Let's see how the matchup plays out. And we have myself on Skynet on the left here, against Jesper on the deck on the right. And I believe Skynet won the roll-off here. Ooh, starting off with a library. Very strong start, straight from the get-go here. And here's my opening hand: a Black Lotus, Mistress Factory, Tundra, a Triskelion and a Sushi, and a Copy Artifact. So pretty strong opening hand here. Not a lot of draws, but we need to get within draw range for that library. Ooh, City of Brass and a Mox Jet coming out of the deck here. After the draw, we are within draw range, processing some more data. Skynet draws with the library, getting out of Tundra here. Okay, so going down to six cards again. Not committing with the Sushi here. We can't cast the Sushi with the Lotus, but that'll put us out of a library range at this point. So back to 7 cards here, drawing another card. Seems like I drew into a scrub land here. I also have a factory in hand, so I'm probably deliberating what to do. Okay, putting down the factory. Oh, and then a Sol Ring. Bunch of early mana here. Still gotta watch out that we don't get too low in cards, because then we can't use a Library of Alexandria. But as long as we can, we'll get that going. Oh, the deck is a bit mana starved here. Volcanic Island and the City of Brass and a Mox, but that's it. You need a 4th mana source to get out the first book. Oh, exiting the factory here, coming over for 2. Likely trying to draw some Swords to Plowshares here. Oh, there's one. Because we have a bunch of robots in hand, so and we also have a bunch of lands and mana. So yeah, feeling fine losing the factory here. There's a scrub land. The longer the library will go, will continue unanswered, the better for Skynet, obviously. But the deck will have, I guess he has a Chaos Orb, a Mind Twist. Oh, that's Demonic Tutor though. Chaos Orb and a Mind Twist, or the Strip Mine as answers against it. Obviously the Demonic Tutor as well. And here's Mana Fix with that City of Brass. Now I could take an Assisted Recall. I could also take a Strip Mine, just a Strip Mine that single City of Brass there. But I suppose I could take a Mind Twist as well. The problem with the Mind Twist is that he'll untap before I can use it, and he will be able to counter that. Second the Lotus, using the Ancestral Recall. Getting down a Mox. I think a tutor for that Ancestral. I think I'm doing that to get back into a draw range with the library. What do we have here? Okay, copying. I think I'm copying the Sol Ring here. Yeah, bunch of early mana here, and that's what we need. Oh, there's a library out of the deck as well. So I think he's within draw range as well. But using the final 2 mana, blue mana from the Black Lotus here, just to cast a Copy Artifact on the Sol Ring. So we can really get the robots, the Terminators, in production here. Island coming out. Okay, drawing with the library, that's a Triskelion. Does he have a counterspell though? I'm keeping a double blue mana up because I can actually... Yeah, it's a whole new theme here. I can actually counter with this deck. I can counter a bit. I think I have 2 counterspells and a mana drain in the deck at this point. Sometimes I play with 3. No counterspell. Okay, the first Terminator comes down. And the library is online from the deck here. So it's a race. Who can read the fastest? Before one of us gets an answer for it. Kind of missed the sinkholes here from composition A, but you can't have it all. Disenchanting the Triskelion here. Oh, but that's a Mana Drain out of Skynet, drawing with the library before I play the Mana Drain. And the Mana Drain is countered, losing a counter war. Took the deck here, shooting with the Triskelion before it gets removed for 3 points of damage, letting loose with all those guns. Putting the deck down to 15 points of life because he's taking a couple of damage from that City of Brass as well. Oh, now animating. Yeah, the Terminators are relentless here. He's standing up from a burning pile of rubble, eyeing the deck. Though that Triskelion is damaged now, it's only a 3-4. The animate dead will make it lose a single point of power. Still, we recycle here, and there's the Sushi. Sapphire, I think I'm committing here. Okay, yeah I am. Disenchanting the Sapphire. Oh, I mean the Jet. Putting him down to 4 points of life, and really making sure that he has to use that City of Brass as much as possible. Next turn I'll be able to do 10 points of damage. 7 points from the creatures, and then shooting with the Triskelion if I want to. And if he has a balance, he'll have to discard his entire hand. Or most of it. Oh, disenchanting the Sushi here. Keeping the Triskelion. Oh, I suppose that makes sense. The Triskelion is weaker. And it will just shoot him anyway. So, getting in for 3. The Trisk. But the deck has used a lot of his resources as well. And I even have a strip mine against his library. Don't suppose I'll use it here. I'm keeping that back in anticipation of a Maze of Ith. What do we have here? Oh, a book coming out. That's fine. Disenchanting the book immediately. Oh, now he's Sorcerer Plowsharing my Trisk. I'm shooting him for 2 and the Triskelion shoots itself for 1. Just to get back into the library, otherwise it would be removed from the game. And I don't really need the life that much. I haven't been touched yet. There's a Time Twister. I think that was the reason. Oh, I have a Strip Mine as well. Yeah, that was the reason I was committing so fast here. Just emptying my hand, piling on the pressure with the robots, removing his stuff, and now I can Time Twister right back into library range here when he's tapped out. And I even have a Strip Mine to remove his Library of Alexandria. So, pretty lucky situation, or I suppose. I don't know if it's luck. It's a lot of draws. Just a snowballing effect here. So, now only Skynet gets to use that library. Using it immediately here before I play any cards. Something big here. I wonder, perhaps a Trisk? Yep, another Trisk coming down. That was also the reason why I put it back into the library. Ooh, Time Walking here. So I don't really need to use the Strip Mine yet, I suppose. Trying again. So there's a library on each side, but Skynet has been able to use that library for a bit longer, and I can just shut his library down whenever I need to. Getting in for 4 here, putting him down to 5. Do you have a copy artifact on the Triskelion? That would be game. Now Strip Mining the library. His library, and putting down an Ice Manipulator. Nuclear Winter setting in. Now tapping his City of Brass, doing a point of damage to him. Uses the City of Brass to kill my Triskelion. I shoot him for 3 immediately. Next turn, I'll be able just to tap his City of Brass with the Icy. That's game. Skynet takes the first one here. So 1-0. Now we'll start sideboarding here. And then we'll get into the second match. But a promising start from Skynet, I suppose. I'll likely take in some Divine Offerings against all his artifacts. I think I'll take the Abyss out. I don't have any Red Blasts. I don't know. This is round number 2. And actually I missed... the camera didn't record the second round. And I've taken in the Armageddon. I've taken in all the Armageddons I can get my hands on, and I actually won the second round with Armageddons, just bombing the entire land, and winning with the robots one more time. So it's actually 2-0 for Skynet here, but never mind. In this recording, it is only 1-0. But it made me remember that I took in those Armageddons, and I have also in this this one. So we are on Robo-Geddon at this point. Scrubland, Sol Ring, and a Chaos Orb. Pretty risky to play it like this. I can't use it as a response, but if he tries to disenchant it, I suppose he'll have a bit of trouble. I'd like to wait with the disenchant actually until I activate it. Ooh, copying the Chaos Orb here with a copy artifact. I have a colorless mana floating from that Sol Ring. Okay, Chaos Orbing his Tundra. See if it hits. Oh, it slides a bit, but gets the Tundra. It's the most important one of them. Okay, now, and it's just brutal. Chaos Orbing the Volcanic Island, here you go. Back to square one for the deck. Getting immediately a City of Brass here. Good stuff, we don't want a none game. Even though, in this situation, I'm just going all in now, mind twisting his hand for Brain Guys, a Serra Angel, Recall, and a Swords to Blanches. A bunch of expensive cards here, probably not the best picks, but getting rid of that Swords to Plowshare is pretty cool. Trumps are coming down, now he can counter. And I'm not within library range, obviously. Really used a lot of cards here. What's that? Is that a Demonic Tutor? Yeah, tutoring here. Oh no, counterspell yet. I don't think there is, because I could take a Strip Mine here. Strip Mine his City of Brass. So, and he wouldn't be able to counter that, so... Time Walking, okay. I do think I took a Ancestral, yeah, because it doesn't look like he has a counterspell. He would have countered that Demonic Tutor. So, drawing 3 cards. Do we have 7 cards here? No, no library yet. I'm saving up for it. With that Ancestral Recall. Let's see if the deck can bounce back from that double Chaos Orb mayhem from Skynet. Not yet. Now we're within library range. Scrubland. Soaring into a Felverstone. Okay, as a Mox out of the deck. He would have had 5 mana at this point. I mean, the library is so strong against the deck because he doesn't really have room for a lot of answers against it. So I'm feeling pretty damn lucky that I have drawn that in a couple of games now. Let's see, Sushi coming down. Immediate Swords to Plowshares. The deck can really defend itself pretty well. With only a couple of mana. Oh, there's a library from him. Still only a couple of cards in hand. Okay, so I'm taking my card in my upkeep here because I had 7 cards in hand. So I want to do that so I'm not forced to play a card. Another Sushi. Getting countered. Okay, he seems like he's run out of removal. I can't counter back, it seems. Oh, I don't choose to. I think I'm fine with him. I'm fine with not countering. I just want to ride that library as long as I can because I'll draw more threats than he has answers. And I'll keep on forcing him to spend cards from his hand so he can't get it within library range. It's okay that he removes robots in this situation. I'll just draw more as a risk. And at some point he will have depleted his resources. Okay, pass the turn. Okay, at my... Tries to disenchant it here, and this time I counter, then I draw. And then I counter. Okay, he's fixing it here. So, did that in my turn. So I attack him with a Triskelion, getting... Okay, I'm doing this because I'm going for the kill here. Next turn, that'll be 14 points of damage. No, 86, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Skynet wins this match as well. So we're going into round number 3. let's see if the deck can equalize the score here. 2-0. He's starting off plains in with a Mox Emerald here. Tundra, Ruby, Soaring from Skynet. An immediate Divine Offering, and he on the Soaring, and he took that in from the sideboard. Makes perfect sense. Really trying to delay me here, because he knows that a bunch of robots will get out with that Soul Ring, and I'll likely even be able to copy it. Oh, okay. First book coming out of the deck here. No answer. Oh, Skynet has the launch codes and does a nuclear strike here, obliterating all the lanes, so he can't use that book. Did draw into a Mox though. Underground Sea. Tundra. Yeah, it kind of mana stabbed him a bit. I remember I had a bunch of mana in hand with that Armageddon, so I think I had both lanes actually. Does seem like I might be running out of mana as well, but I suppose it does delay the book. Okay, he draws into an Underground Sea here. Time Walking, drew into that. Okay, there's the fourth mana source. Now, can we get something out here? Yep, Ice Manipulator. Seems like I'm just rectifying the life total here. No City of Brass in this deck to ping me, so it's really different than Composition A. Copying the Icy or the book? Okay, pass the turn to him in his upkeep. I tap down his Underground Sea. If he draws a mana, and he did here, now he can't draw with that book until next turn, so it delays that book usage a whole turn. Next time I can't even tap it. I can't even tap a lane because he'll just use it to draw with the book. He got a Soul Ring here. It's pretty damn crucial for him. He needs all the mana he can get. Okay, I'm mana draining this Soul Ring. That's aggressive. Really want to keep him in check here. Factory coming down, tapping one of his lanes. His upkeep. I think the copy artifact is a book. What's going on here? I think I passed the turn and then I thought better of it and asked to play that back so that I could play the Time Twister while he was tapped out so he couldn't counter. I'm doing this to draw a whole new hand. We both get a new hand, but I'll likely get some answers for that book, or I hoped I will. Time Walking here straight after the Time Twister. Oh, there's a library. Drawing with the book. Oh, drawing with the library. Remember that copy artifact is a book, and now we can disenchant his book. Talk about just running away with it here. Crushing card advantage with an active book and a library, etc. Oh, but there's a disenchant out of the deck. Removing my book. And a library from him. Nice. Now he time walks. So we both have an active library in a short while here. Really going neck and neck against the deck here. The card drawing department. Oh, and he gets another book, and I'm tapped out. I can't do anything. Alright. So, advantage shifted to the deck here for the time being. He needs at 21 points of life from that Divine Offering on my Soul Ring. Oh, another Icy. So 2 Icy Manipulators, but I can't tap his lands in his upkeep. He'll just use that to draw the book, draw with the book. Though I do suppose I can get him with the factory. But if I do, I can't counter. And if I use a library to activate the factory, I can't. I can't draw with the library. So got an Underground Sea, attack with the factory. He sorts it. So going up to 22 points of life, 2 Tundras untapped, representing a counterspell, and also being able to tap any attackers out with that Icy Manipulator. Another factory out of the deck here. Activate the factory, attacking. I'm letting it in. I want to continue to represent a counterspell, not choosing to tap it, because then I don't have a double blue mana. Passing the turn right back. Now trying to Mind Twist him. For 3 cards. Perhaps he only has 3 cards in hand at this point. It does still have the book though. No counterspell. Okay, so the deck loses his hand. Then I pass the turn. At my end step he draws with the book. And he draws again. Now will he save up for that Library of Alexandria to come within range of that? He can't get in with his factories at this point. Tries to, then attacks. I'm still taking it. I guess I want to be able to draw with the library at his end step. Still a glutton for the pain here. Going down to 15 points of life, but I know the deck can't finish me off quickly with a bunch of burn. At least this version of the deck can't do that. So letting them in, choosing to represent the counterspell and use the library as much as possible. Now Chaos Orb coming down. Drawing again with the library. So we both have 2 draws a turn. The deck has it from his book. Until it gets within library range, then we will have 3 draws a turn. And Skynet has it with the... Oh, okay. Armageddon here. Again. Why though? I'll lose my own library. I was within library range. I suppose... Yes, I also have 3 Moxen. I have a Chaos Orb and a Black Lotus. There's something I want to do. Have a land in hand. I'm going to see tapping that, crashing the Lotus, getting down a Sushi with a double Icy backup, and I can actually next turn I can start to tap down his artifacts, and I can Chaos Orb. I can Chaos Orb one of them as well. Strip Mine here, draws with the book. Okay, this play actually makes sense then. Oh, I even have a Strip Mine in hand. Strip Mining his Strip Mine. I'll Chaos Orb his Pearl. He forfeits the game here. I just want to see. Okay, but yeah, I can Chaos Orb his Pearl, then continue to lock down his double Moxen with my Ices for as long as I want to. So he'll be completely without mana for so long, and with all his draw engines destroyed, and the Sushi will come for a visit each turn, and the deck just quits in disgust at this point. So yeah. What a debut, I suppose, re-emergence of Skynet on this channel. Pretty solid start here. After this, I will test it out against another tier 1 classical archetype of the tournament scene, namely You Are Counterburn, and see how it measures up against that, because that is an entirely different matchup. After that, we'll have another deck called Party Crasher, the Party Crasher archetype, a debut on this channel as well. And it will go up against the deck. It is all from the same evening here. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching this battle with Skynet versus the deck. I'll catch you next time.